I am in the hot seat, but
Yeah.
at the same time, having conversations with people that are listening in is also wonderful. Charlie
Yeah.
just asked another question. What do you guys think about Sultana and Jeremy Corbyn's new left-wing party? Hey, Sumera, this is your space.
Oh, this is your podcast. You talk.
I know, but like, you're very clued up on stuff like this, aren't you?
Not as much as Charlie. Charlie really puts us on the spot, I would
Anyways,
say I'm excited for it. I think it's quite refreshing. I do follow Zara Sultana,
well, you follow her like on a personal level.
like as in her social media, and I probably retweet a lot of her. Not necessarily now. I'm not that active on Twitter at the moment, but I follow her on social media. She's quite inspiring, and I think her and Jeremy Corbyn combined, I think it's refreshing. Whether they'll be able to do what they aspire to, because obviously with the history of Jeremy Corbyn, like, he didn't really get a chance. They really scapegoated him.
What do you mean by that? Explain that.
No. The people.
Charlie said he asked the questions that the people want to know. Sorry, go on.
No, okay. So overall, I think it's exciting and refreshing. I'm excited to see what happens, shifts. I'm a bit skeptical about like anything government and politics, like in terms of who's in power and whose voices get censored and who gets shut down. A bit like how Palestine Action, the group, is now a terrorist group, and anytime you associate, if you were to ever associate with them in the past or present, like, you can literally go to prison for it now. Yeah, but to show the power, like, even though there's lots of people who are fighting against it, who ends up winning. But I do resonate with a lot of what Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana say, and they articulate it in a much better way than I can. But yeah, that's my 2 pence.
No, I agree. And what I wanted to add to that was something that I was speaking to a friend about, and which is, I noticed that when I'm speaking on the podcast, I do tend to be generalistic a lot and say white people. But when I say that, I'm talking about Western governments, right? And not every white person, but the way I say it isn't the best because I'm just so used to, I need to be better with the way I communicate that particular thing. But the reason I mentioned that, and what I was going to say about that, was that I saw recently that even after Palestine Action had been prescribed as a terrorist organization in an attempt to shut down all of that situation, there were older white people that just, like older people, they still protest and they sat out there. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I'm so inspired and so moved by it.
It's people who know that they have a privilege and they're using it to their, advantage.
I'll be honest, I don't think I would take that risk. That's pretty crazy. Because now you can be facing up to 14 years in prison for showing support to Palestine Action after they've gone ahead and done that whole terrorist prescribing situation. So the fact that they still did it, I was just like, wow.
Yeah, there was a retired priest about 83 years old among the protesters who were arrested.
We should probably keep up to date with that because it would be so interesting to see how they handle it. I don't know. Did I want to share my thoughts? I am not as politically informed with regards to what's happening in the UK as some would think. But in my opinion, I agree with you, Samira, in the fact that this is an interesting development. It's something refreshing. It's something new. I have no idea what's going to happen. We'll just wait and see. Similar to Ibrahim, it's fresh. It's new. It's challenging the status quo. So let's just wait and see, That's my approach to it. I like the fact that something new is happening. But I'm also very skeptical the same way you are, Samira, about just in terms of the power structures that currently exist. I don't think they would truly allow something truly radical to change the way things are. I feel like if you're operating within the power structures that currently exist, I hate to say it, but I feel like there is little, what's the word I'm looking for?
Room change?
Yes, there's little room for change. Yes,
or maybe it's like skeptical but hopeful. That's where I kind of stand. Yeah, so in terms of moving forward to the third podcast of today's live discussion.
Third episode. This is with Dr. Khawthar. She's a whole doctor now.
Dr. Khawthar.
Yes.
Exactly. I'm sure if you were to Google her thesis will be available online at the University of Manchester. She might be still going through I don't know. There's a whole process once you finish your doctorate before it goes online. Yeah.
I can't find it. All I see is a LinkedIn.
On her LinkedIn, she probably wrote what her thesis was on when she was recruiting.
Are you saying I should show it on LinkedIn?
No, just read out her thesis title. I believe it was something to do with Black mental health.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get into LinkedIn.
But I really enjoyed, not that I enjoy all of the podcasts, I learn a lot, for real, but Obviously,
Yeah.
Khawthar at the time was a counseling psychologist in training and is now a counseling psychologist, and I'm a clinical psychologist. And I think both of us are from ethnically minoritized backgrounds, and we were talking a lot about the oppression like in psychology, and we were talking a lot about the conceptualization of mental health, and she spoke about it in terms of leadership in Africa. We talked about race-based trauma.
I really enjoyed everything about that episode. I just kept talking and talking. I really enjoyed it. That was one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, it was quite engaging. Well, it was psychology. It's an interesting topic.
Oh, because you're a psychologist. Okay.
No, it's actually, it's not about, I think when people like Khawthar, and lots of people who come from ethnically minoritized backgrounds, when we go into psychology, we knew there was a gap because it's very Eurocentric, individualistic. But the people you see seeking support are from the global majority. So we come into psychology not to only understand it and its roots, but to also develop it so that, a bit like AI.
Ooh, now you got my attention. What do you mean?
You know how you're thinking, okay, hang on a minute, we need an ethical space for Africans or the global majority.
To build and own in AI.
Exactly.
We truly need.
No, I know. And you can definitely talk about this a lot more as your ending statements as well. But
because we're truly screwed.
Exactly. Okay. I know for sure. In a similar light, not exactly the same, we're coming in because of people of different cultures and trying to understand psychology outside of what it's known to be. I found that really engaging for that particular reason. We spoke about being judged collectively.
We did speak about that.
We recommended a few good books to read as well. By Naeem Akhtar. He was one of the authors.
That was when I reached the conclusion that all the African leaders that were doing bad to their nations are mentally unwell.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes, he diagnosed, he had two psychologists on the podcast, but Hamid was the one to diagnose.
Yes, it was me. Yeah. I did the diagnosis. Dr. Khawthar did it.